Welcome to the Family Bible Journey. Whether you're a first-time listener, one of our regulars, or one of those who is committed to either reading through or journaling through the Bible with us, thanks for listening. This is episode 407, season 1 of the Family Bible Journey Old Testament podcast. Today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 10. The title of today's podcast is Anti-Spirit of Our Age. And our key verses for today: the entirety of Proverbs 10, which begins a 12 to 13 chapter long section of Proverbs that we are going to be exploring here for the next couple of weeks in the podcast. Our reading beginning in verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes glad his father, but a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. Treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. He who gathers in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who brings shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. The memory of the righteous is a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his ways crooked will be found out. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. On the lips of him who has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. The wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool brings ruin near. A rich man's wealth is his strong city. The poverty of the poor is their ruin. The wage of the righteous leads to life, the gain of the wicked to sin. Whoever heeds instruction is on the path to life, but he who rejects reproof leads others astray. The one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is of little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding. What the wicked dreads will come upon him, but the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the tempest passes, the wicked is no more, but the righteous is established forever. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to those who send him. The fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. The hope of the righteous brings joy, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to the blameless, but destruction to evildoers. The righteous will never be moved, but the wicked will not dwell in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked what is perverse. This is the word of the Lord. So as we said before our reading, this is the beginning of a collection of Proverbs that's going to stretch on for about a dozen chapters here in the book of Proverbs. And as I am beginning to prepare these episodes for the Proverbs, I've got to admit that these episodes are much more difficult than many others for me to produce. It takes 3 to 4 times the amount of time because it feels like every single verse, every single word sometimes is so loaded with meaning that my mind wants to chase it down and follow it to its logical conclusion. But you can't do that with the Proverbs and stick within our 7 to 12 minute timeline. So what we're going to do here is we are just going to highlight a few of the Proverbs and explore them just a little bit, recognizing that there is no way that we are going to be able to do justice to all of the Proverbs. But if we can just glean a little bit of wisdom in each of our episodes from a couple or a few, then we are going to be better off. But if we try to cover everything, we are just going to get buried, as I have been in the production of these episodes. So my first note on chapter 10, verse 1, I have that verse highlighted in green where it says, "A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is sorrow to his mother." And this is a contrast between wisdom and foolishness that we're going to see often throughout the Proverbs. And I have a red Cairo on the first half of that verse where we see the Son of God as that perfect son who has satisfied his Father by fulfilling his will for us. I also have on verse 12, hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. I've got that one highlighted as well, and I've got a red Cairo on it. And when we think about the spirit of this age, in this age, the things that are promoted are anger and hatred, sexualization, and all sorts of forms and platforms and media. Also, I would say that we live in an age of unbridled greed right now. And for us to recognize that hatred stirs up conflict and that the solution, the antidote, is simply to love our neighbors, to forgive instead of trying to execute justice in our time and in the way that we see best. This is the antidote to much of the anxiety, the hatred, the worry, the fear that is so pervasive in all sorts of media platforms, and I would say is being supported and promoted by the algorithms and the producers of most of our most popular media. And so we, as a people of God, we do well to recognize this as evil working in the world and to distance ourselves from the sort of discourse that is all too often promoted in this world that we live in. I also have verse 22 highlighted in red, green, and blue, where it says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." We are going to see a lot of economic parables throughout the Proverbs. We see some in verse 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of this chapter. And it is so important for us to recognize that money is not in and of itself evil, but rather it is the love of money. In my note on verse 2, I have one of those words of wisdom sections. It's all capitalized with a WOW in front of it. It says, "Greedy gain does not profit." If we are earning an honest wage and improving the lives of others genuinely and sincerely with the work that we are doing, when we are compensated for it, even if we are compensated for it tremendously, there is no evil in that. And this is good motivation for God's people to work very hard in the marketplace and to seek to do well, seeing that when the Lord makes us rich, he adds no sorrow with it. If we grow rich through greedy gain or self-serving practices, then we are going to be worse, even if our pile of money continues to grow throughout the course of our working days. And this is God's answer to the greed of our age. For us to honor him in every aspect of life, including how we use our money, seeing him working through our labor to benefit others, and seeking to do a good job to get better at what we do, and to be blessed simply for practicing our faith in our places of business. This is a good practice for us. And so here in this first chapter of the listed Proverbs, we see an anti-spirit of our age, especially Proverbs aimed at anger, hatred, and greed, and wonderful encouragement for us. But much more than that, the power of God at work in us when we as his people listen to him and embrace his ways. If you appreciate the faith and perspective of the Family Bible Journey, and you'd like to learn more about how I'm able to help congregations around the country as they deal with the difficulties and the opportunities of ministry, go to the website of genesisgroup.com. That's GENYSYS-group.com. Or look on YouTube, where you can watch our videos and hear what other people are saying about our work. Our blessing for today. May you be blessed with wisdom and enriched in every way as you enrich others with the wisdom and worldly wealth God entrusts to you. Amen.